And welcome back to Breakfast at Wimbledon. And there's a young woman who had a wonderful Sunday morning, posing with the championship plate. Martina Hingis has 2 Grand Slam titles this year in Australia and Wimbledon, and a finalist at the French. The dominant #1 player on the women's side was Steffi Graf out with injury. And here's the #1 man on the men's side.
Been waiting for some good solid returning from Pioline, particularly that backhand side.
Only the 8th point he's taken off Sampras's serves. It's wide, but another good return. That's encouraging.
Well, he had a good low return. Pete did well to hit that ball deep. Just never was balanced for that backhand pass. Just over eager. He couldn't believe he actually had a shot. We've seen the ball better this set so far.
Saw that one go wide away as he slices his 13th ace.
Yannick Noah, by the way, the only Frenchman to win a slam singles title in the Open era. 83 French. He's been helpful in Pioline's career, coaching the Davis Cup team. They had a tremendous victory last year, winning the Davis Cup.
There's the first double fault from Sampras, and that's news. A little rumble through center court saying, oh, that isn't Superman.
He is human.
So 30 all. That is the remarkable part of his game, just piling up ace after ace and rarely a double fault.
Well, he was there for that one. Guessed right. Pulled up the body and paid the price. Try to get that body moving forward just a touch.
Paul Annacone. Todd Snyder on the right is trainer. Annacone, the coach. Tim Gullickson, of course, the former coach. Whoa, there is a big forehand return. And for the first time in this championship match, Cedric Pioline with a deuce.
I expected more of this, to be honest, Dick. I thought he'd do a better job. He's now 2 sets down in a huge hole. It's never too late in sports. It's the best service game he's had, or excuse me, returning game he's had in the tournament by far. Shut me up quick. Another ace for Sampras.
Stared at number 14, Pioline. Thought it was a bit wide.
That was awful close.
Yes, clipped the outside of the line. Bothered by movement. Those are the kinds of returns he delivered against Michael Steek.
Once again, Pioline with the backhand return. This game has clearly been his best game of the match off the Sampras serve. Let's see if he can capitalize.
Try to get the words out before the ace comes.
I could sense that coming.
Number 15. Have to just total up the aces versus double faults for Sampras in the championship. It's so remarkable. Well, Pioline, a ray of hope, but Sampras quickly extinguishes that bit of fire as we look at the match update.
Well, both players have got the first serve percentage up. If you look at the stats, the difference is the chances to break. Pioline's had none. Sampras has taken advantage of 3 of the 7. That translates to 2 sets down for Cedric. Just can't miss those volleys. Do not miss those volleys. Looks like my match against Agassi in '92. Pete returning very, very well, which was Agassi's strong point, and the serve volleyer missing the volley. And there's another one. Wild forehand volley there. I didn't see him miss these the last couple rounds.
Yeah, Greg Rosetsky and Michael Steig must be saying, how come he didn't help us out that way?
They have one Grand Slam title between them, and Pete's got 9 by himself. That's the reason. Nerves play a part.
And then a beautiful backhand return for triple break point.
And that's what the greats do. They put additional pressure on you when you've made a couple of mistakes just to annoy you even further. Sampras has returned so beautifully off that backhand side when Pioline's try to jam him.
Making Pioline hit shot after shot as he's broken again. Sampras well in command. And welcome back. Pete Sampras goes for number 4 at Wimbledon and has surrendered only 7 games to his opponent. Serves up a break. There's the numbers that indicate the power of his service play and his accuracy. 117 aces and only 14 double faults in 7 matches.
15 love.
That's usually my warm-up total, 14 double faults, and then I try to tighten up my game.
What's Cedric Pioline thinking now? Replay of '93, except could it even be worse? The moment it is.
13 love.
93, he took 11 games from Sampras, 6-4, 6-4, 6-3.
He thought that one went fast.
Sampras, who loves that shot, leaping high, but realized that was going to be
if he had hit that at 30 love, then you would have said he knows for sure he's going to win this match. I think he was tempted to. Knew it was going to go well long. 40 love. Gave Pioline about 3 chances. He hit an out ball. Didn't do a lot with one of the volleys, but almost fell down there. That one was going out. Stab volley there for the winner.
And just that look is
like a sword.
Unbelievable talent. So it's 1-3 in the third for Pioline, down 2 sets. Deep, deep hole for the 28-year-old Frenchman. I'm not sure you can even see the blue skies over Wimbledon. He's down there. The man at the other end of the court has got the shovel out. Double fault. He missed the. Oh, that was the first serve. He had a let. may have been his best volley of the match.
14 love.
Pete sure went after that backhand return. Pioline didn't hit it cleanly, and that can work on grass. It's actually a good shot to hit sometimes. Oh, that went in. Looked like it was about a foot behind him. He still managed to curve it into the court. Pioline thinks he has this game well in hand, but not yet. Right on the line.
First service.
And to think he once had a two-handed backhand, Pete Sampras. Switched around 13 years of age. His one-hander is incredible.
Game to Pioline, but it's Sampras up 2 sets, up a break in the third. The best in the world at that running forehand, and he's delivered a couple today, and a little bit of everything else as well, all at the high level.
And the other tip for the average human is don't aim for the line when you hit that running pass. Give yourself some margin for error. Good luck.
15 love.
Well, Sampras' serve has been threatened only once in the match. That was the first service game of his third set when Pioline had a couple of deuces.
All the way to deuce, huh?
Twice.
And promptly got his serve broken. He's half hoping that Sampras will miss these volleys and is not ready to hit those passes. A little bit late there and cost him. He's got to expect every single ball to come back.
Another ace for Sampras. That kicked off the service line, number 16. Well, it's an hour and 20 minutes old now, the match. That's all that you let Jimmy Connors play in '84 when you beat him in straights.
Game Sampras.
That was one of the shortest finals ever. Join us next Saturday at 2 Eastern for the WNBA on NBC.
Sampras leads.
Ruthie Bolton Holofield in Sacramento against Cynthia Cooper in Houston. That's the WNBA next Saturday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern on NBC. So Pioline serving 2-4. Sampras 2 games away from another championship. And his mother, Georgia, father Sam Sampras, had to get up early, 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe on that second cup of coffee out there in the Los Angeles area, watching their son. Almost dropped dead in the miss hit. And you know well, John, and any parent that's been involved with a tennis boy or girl, it is a devotion of a whole family. I mean, the family's time and travel and support of a player. And Sampras' story is so much different than the ordinary.
Rarely, if ever, do you see his parents at any of the events, much less the big ones.
And even as a kid, the same. They said, you want to be a player? Here's how you do. We'll help you do that. But weren't there at a lot of the matches. They said, go ahead, enjoy it. It's your activity. It's not ours. We're going to go on with our life. And in no unkind manner. That's just how they operated, and that's why you may wonder why when you look at the friends box, you don't see them here. That's consistent with the way that they've always dealt with their son.
It's going to go long. It's worked pretty well, put it mildly.
I was hoping, in fact, might be able to sit down and chat with them, and that just, why would you want to chat with us? That's just inconsistent with the way we've dealt with all of this.
That's the story of this match. Pioline missing volleys. And not too many of them have been that difficult, the ones he missed. Not this easy, The good news for him, he is up 40 love right now, but he's missed a number of very makeable volleys.
He holds, but it's Sampras serving 4-3, up 2 sets when we come back.
Today's edition of Players Who Made a Difference is brought to you by Mobile. Energy to make a difference.
Pete Sampras and Jim Courier, an All-American final on the 4th of July. Sampras eyeing his first Wimbledon title. Offered the early fireworks, his big serve setting up easy volleys. Courier with a shot at becoming the first man to win French and Wimbledon titles since Bjorn Borg, but his baseline game not sharp enough on this day. Sampras now far court serving for the match. 5-3 in the 4th. His game crafted for the lawns here at Wimbledon, and at just 21, Pete Sampras, Wimbledon champion. Welcome back in the Royal Box. Jack Kramer celebrating the 50th anniversary of his Wimbledon singles championship.
Pioneer for the men's game.
He's contributed greatly to tennis through his many years.
15.
Big fan of the quality tennis and the quality of character of Pete Sampras.
The master of the one-night stand. Those guys used to go day after day playing tennis exhibitions, 100 days in a row. There's a rarity. Well, Pete Sampras has shown absolutely no sign of nerves. Will it happen at all in this tournament? Tiebreakers in the 3rd and 4th set, perhaps against Korda, that's about it. Too good. Yeah, that was a pretty well hit return by Pioline.
30-15.
Sampras calmly stuck out that forehand volley. Saw that the court was relatively open.
Wonderful reflexes. Good return, at least it's testing Sampras now.
You could argue that was a little tight. We're really trying to stretch for that right now. Show that he is human. Pioline desperate for the break. Got to break here or the next game or it's over.
40-30.
Sampras has really hurt him with that serve out wide. Just can't seem to find the right timing for it. Skidding away from him. When you take that big swing like he does, awful tough to connect consistently.
So for the 3rd time in the match, Pioline at least to deuce against Sampras' serve.
Here's his chance, Dick. Pete's a little bit tight. He's got a second serve at deuce. Got to capitalize.
Oh, double ball. Only his second. And Pioline finally arrives at a break point after 116 service games in which Sampras has only been broken twice by Tillstrom in the very first set of the championships and by Woodbridge. That's where you expected to hear ace.
Yeah, you hadn't finished your sentence, but here's a second serve. Real shot for Pioline. No. He got tight himself. He didn't take a swing at that.
Just stopped his swing and it predictably flew long.
May not get as good a chance as he just had there.
Advantage Sampras. Game Sampras. Sampras leads.
Where are the holes on that other side of the net for Cedric Pioline? And how great is this 25-year-old Sampras? Best of his age. Historically, how will he be judged? Four U.S. Open titles. Going for his fourth Wimbledon. Won the Australian earlier this year for his second. French Open, the only jewel not captured. That'll be tough for him. But he hasn't given up on that. His attitude about winning on the red clay is very positive. He feels somehow he's going to put it together, just as I know you were frustrated by Paris.
He should think seriously about serving in volley there, the way he serves in volley.
Well, Patrick Rafter, the Australian, did that this year, got all the way to the semis.
And he's got far more ability than Rafter. Far better server. Better off the ground.
14 love.
Bad luck for Pioline. If he'd snuck out that break, easy game here without a little momentum. Instead, just fighting to stay alive. 3-5 down, 40 love. Pete calmly runs around that backhand. Actually didn't even need to run around it. Simple as that.
Well, he's a great fan of basketball, as Sampras, and of course of Michael Jordan, because Jordan plays both ends of the court. He's an outstanding defensive player, offensive player, complete game, and Sampras prides himself in having the whole package. He wants to be good at everything, and certainly is shown here again. He's got the goods. Good. Now Pete Sampras serves for his fourth Wimbledon title, 5-4.
Well, certainly when Pioline comes out 5-4 down, the crowd's going to give him a big hand. Maybe he'll get lucky. Pete will get a little bit tight, win the first couple points off Pete's serve. Hopefully he misses some first serves, and we may still have a match in a couple minutes. Otherwise, get ready for some exciting men's doubles final.
Cedric Pioline beneath the Wimbledon towel. Again, just to put this effort and Pete Sampras at 25 in a historical place, Grand Slam events. Roy Emerson, the Australian, with 12. Borg and Rod Laver, Sampras's idol, 11. Bill Tilden, 10. And if Sampras wins, he'll be at 10 with that company.
We should also mention the guys that we don't, Vlander's had 7 major titles, still somewhat active on the tour. I'm going to drop a little below here. Boris Becker, who is apparently retired, was 6. Stefan Edberg was 6 as well, who recently retired at the beginning of the year. And we've seen these guys throughout the 2 weeks.
And Sampras just taking one big step after another above those with whom he's competed in this era. Now, if this was the end of theatrical performance on the West End, it'd be a standing ovation and a couple of encores for this star.
Well, that's the first step. Take the big return off the first serve. That will build confidence. Get the crowd into this. He had a shot at it that he may not otherwise have had.
15 all.
He probably should have put that volley away, but still wins the point. What do you think?
Who's number one?
Who's he kidding?
30-15.
There's your answer. Pioline saying, hey, just be quiet up.
Yeah, don't get him mad.
17 aces now for Sampras, 2 from the championship. And now championship point for Sampras, number 4. A remarkable champion in an incredible championship. Breezing through the best in the game, right through the final in straight sets, defeating Cedric Pioline to the delight of those who cheer hardest. Pete Sampras, 10 Grand Slam titles, 10. His 4th Wimbledon title. It was so workmanlike, it was really difficult for the audience here at center court to try as they may to really get totally involved in the story trying to be produced by his opponent Cedric Pioline. Just wasn't there for Pioline.
Outclassed, and the bad part was Cedric just didn't play very well. That's disappointing. I would have liked to see him play as well as he had the 2 previous matches. So that may have been because of who he was playing. He wasn't playing Pete Sampras.
Sampras with still another overpowering serve to Pioline at match point. Pioline unable to put it in play, and Sampras very confidently and modestly offers that winning smile. And a lot of great faces up in that friends box. As always, you can tell so much about the emotions hidden by the players, by those who cheer for them, and that'll be part of one of our subjects later today in our memory. So we hope you'll stay with us. We have gentlemen's doubles as the Woodbridge-Woodford go for a 5th consecutive title. We have a lot of tennis left, and our best shots of the championship, memories, many other items. Pete Sampras, Wimbledon champion again.
Twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
You might think, after winning 9 Grand Slams and being ranked number 1 4 years in a row, I'd have no more dreams left to fulfill. You'd be wrong.
How I wonder what you are.
And the calm falls on center court as the officials have formed their line. Ball boys and ball girls the same as the Duchess and the Duke of Kent. Duke is the president of the All England Club. The runner-up will be called out first. You know this feeling, John. It isn't quite the same as the other. You battle through and you have those high hopes.
I just think that he only would have wished he played his best. And if he lost, that would have been okay. But to not play your best, that's disappointing after having such a great run.
Cedric Pioline, his ill luck is that in his 2 finals, he's run into Pete Sampras at the U.S. 4 years ago and again today. And here's the champion. He knows the routine. The Duchess very enthusiastic in her congratulations. Trophy was presented to the club in 1922 by King George V. When he was here to celebrate the first play at this site. Jory Armstrong,
I don't get the order here, Dick. I mean, no offense, but I think maybe they should have the umpire before the 2 finalists. I mean,
a little anticlimactic.
Just slightly.
Armstrong following in the footsteps of his father and son both in the chair for a Wimbledon men's final. Sampras in 14 service games allowed only 16 points on his serve. Alan Mills, there was a severe test for the referee with rain washing out play Thursday and Friday of the first week. He now being acknowledged by the Duke and Duchess as Sampras and Pioline already into the photographer session.
The only tournament where they don't make any speeches. It's just somewhat interesting. Be interesting to see what players would have to say.
Yeah, we'll get to hear what Sampras and Pioline have to say. Buck Collins waiting for their remarks. Only Rod Laver was seeded #1 more times than Sampras, 5 times Laver, and Sampras was seeded 1 for the 4th time this year. And if he stays healthy, there seems little doubt but what he'll match Laver's 5. And you know, the nice thing about a young athlete that knows history in his sport is that he can appreciate when he meets the Lavers of the world. And Chris Gorringe, I guess he was running the American way. He wants him on the other side, and some of the fans at the other end, some boos. Protocol says apparently that you first acknowledge the royal box end and the photographer's there, and now it'll be all right if he's going to be certain that he's correct.
He was in a good little semi-jog there, and now he's forced to take it a little slow. I don't think it'll bother him a whole lot.
Was there one more memorable for you of your 3?
Well, it's always nice to win the first one. Get the monkey off the back.
Beating Borg and that classic.
Yeah, that was... but they're all perfectly fine. Just as Pete will tell you.
The rarity of the opportunity and the 1,000,000-to-1 odds that come with being so good that you can develop and be best in the world. Stan Smith knows the feeling. 72, the champion, former University of Southern California star. And you're just in such select, limited company to be the champion of Wimbledon.
Stan Smith didn't get to defend his title in 73 because of the players' boycott. That's a tough one to swallow. A lot of the players today should have thanked Stan Smith. There's Ken Rosewell, who never won here, sadly enough.
Yeah, one of the great players not to win here.
Finalist at age 39. Back in 74, lost to Jimmy Connors.
Pioline having to be prompted to show a little more spirit here. Lost in his own thoughts.
I think he feels bad for the fans, as well as obviously himself, that he didn't play better. A little reluctant to show off his second-place trophy. He wouldn't have had that problem in the quarters or semis, but because of his performance, feeling down.
And much like Jana Novotny yesterday at 28, you know, one can't expect too many more opportunities.
No. Well, that could be it for Cedric. Let's hope he gets one more chance, but that could very well be it.
Final bout of the Royal Box. And the champion and the runner-up on their way to our own Hall of Famer Bud Collins. Pete Sampras, champion of Wimbledon 4 times. We'll be right back with his comments. Well, Pete Sampras has lapped the field, his 4th Wimbledon championship. We'll get his comments in a moment, but first let's go to Bud Collins with a runner-up.
Cedric, a marvelous tournament. You're only the 5th Frenchman to stand in this position in the final, but what was it like? What went wrong?
I mean, I really enjoyed to be in the final last Sunday and against Pete, but I mean, today I think it happened to me. The worst thing it could happen against him is I lose my serve at the beginning of each set. So after I was running after the score, and I mean his serve is so big. His serve so big today. So I mean, I had only one break point on his serve, and it was tough for me to run after the score.
Are you disappointed in the way you played, or wouldn't he let you play?
I mean, it's a little bit of the two things. It's his game is pushing my game. You know, it's I missed some couple of volleys very close from the net or the lines, and
trying to make them too good.
Yeah, maybe I pushed too much, and you know, but I can feel it here, and he's waiting for a mistake.
Well, bien joué, and France is proud of you, Cedric.
Thank you.
Where's the champion? Bob Bachet is bringing him along, and this is getting to be a habit, but a wonderful habit. Congratulations, Pete.
Thanks, man.
Number 4, the only American man to win as many as 4. You've caught up with Bill Tilden, and you've got 10 majors. Where does this stand in the line of the 4 that you've won?
Oh, it's up there. You know, when I came here in '93 and I won it for the first time, that's always very special. And to come back and I did it 2 more times, and I lost to Krajicek last year. But this year I played so well each match. The only match I really struggled was against Korda. But I played very well the whole match. Beating Boris in the quarterfinal was a huge moment for me. And
Becker, yes.
And I mean, they're all very special.
Pete, how do you count for the fact that you lost your serve twice in the tournament?
Well, I almost 4-3 serving in the 3rd set. You know, I got a little bit tight. I started thinking
Did
about
you?
Yeah,
Did you get tight?
Yeah, I double faulted there at the deuce point, and I, you know, just kind of hung in there, and I played quite well. But I've never served quite as well as I have these past 2 weeks. Especially my second serve, I volleyed very well, and to lose my serve only twice is something that just happened. I didn't really plan on it. I mean, my tennis just got better and better as the week went on, and I'm very pleased. Wimbledon is such a huge tournament for me, and I put so much pressure on myself to do well at this one. And to win it 4 times by the age of 25 is something that's, you know, it's sweet.
Now, are you set up for the U.S. Open and the Davis Cup against Australia?
My setup for the U.S. Open, yeah, it's in the back of my mind. I'm going to enjoy this victory for a couple weeks and get ready for the U.S. Open. Very tough tournament, won there last year. So, you know, the majors, that's the most important thing in tennis, and especially in my mind, and I haven't had the chance to make it 11.
Well, you play Davis Cup.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So you've got 2 to go to catch up with Roy Emerson. Can you do it in major championships?
Well, I think it's something that's realistic. You know, I'm 25, and I feel like I've got 4 or 5 really good years left in me. As long as I play well and stay healthy, anything's possible. But it's a number out there that I definitely want to break.
Pete Sampras, there's no doubt that you're one of the greatest champions to stride these lawns. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pete Sampras and company. Some photographs hang on the wall from the All England Club. There's still more to come on Championship Sunday. Ahead on our Breakfast at Wimbledon menu. The top doubles tandem in the world, Australia's Mark Woodford and Todd Woodbridge. They'll try to take that same lap, looking for their 5th consecutive Wimbledon doubles title. They'll be playing Dutchman Paul Harhus and Jaco Elting, the number 2 seeds. That's the men's doubles final coming up. Also a tribute to a favorite son of center